Welcome back, everyone. We are doing another installment of the Pages Promotions Virtual Book Festival of 2020. We are a production of Indie Reads TV, and we find our home on CNM TV in Troy, Michigan. We're having a blast in the month of October. We can't go out and see people in person, so we're kind of doing this long distance. We're discovering new authors, discovering new books, and we're having a lot of fun along the way. Today, we're going to be talking to Chavonne D. Stewart. She's a children's book author, and she's going to do a little bit of reading. We're going to have a little bit of conversation. Let's see, there we go. Push the right button, Diana. There we are. Hi, Chavonne. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, all right. We can indeed.
All right.
So, Chavonne, can you tell us a little bit about your background as a writer, when you started, what got you started?
I could say I started in elementary school. Writing creative stories was never a task for me. I love to write the imagination. That's what my imagination could go wild. I can sit here and just come up with things in my head, and then I was like, well, I need to put this down on paper. So I started as an elementary kid, just writing. As far as my stories go, it was based on real life experiences that I did as a child. And I had said at the early age of 6, I'm going to put this in a book one day. But as a kid, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to be an author. I'm just thinking about, I did something great as a kid, and I want to tell the whole world, you know, what I did as a kid. And so time, you know, life happens. And finally, I get to put it in writing and going through that whole process, and eventually I became a self-published author.
Excellent. I know you've written a series of children's books. What gave you the initial idea for Amilya, who's your star character of these books, and what drew you to writing for children as opposed to writing for an older reading audience?
Not to talk about the older people, but kids' books were always enjoyable to me. One of my favorite books was Ramona the Pest and Henry Huggins as a kid. I love Amelia Bedelia the Maid. Those are the books that, you know, I read as a kid. Of course, the Dr. Seuss books. So kids' books were very, very fun, I should say, but it was learning in the process. So when I did Amilya Rose, because it's based on me, I felt like, why not promote learning? Because I work in the school system, and the things that I saw, kids were not enjoying books. Not all kids, but you see a lot of kids that don't enjoy reading. And so I felt like, well, let me create a character to help in the process. And also because I'm African American, I know when I was in school, you don't see a lot. We didn't see a lot of characters based on us. And I felt like it was important to promote that as well. So I was definitely promoting learning, reading, and more than just reading, we forget we have to comprehend as well. So just wanted to promote the English language again, where I saw was a problem within our school system.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a real passionate promoter of language as well. So I love teaching in the classrooms because you're just giving them that opportunity to learn about story.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it fun. So why don't you go ahead, I'll give you the air, and you can read your book. And Andrew, I love you so much. So you can go ahead and read your book, and then we'll open up the room for questions and answers afterwards. So
all right.
The room is yours.
So today I'm going to read The Adventures of Amilya Rose, The Lie. And for those of you who haven't seen that, that's the front cover of the book. This is the first of my children's series that was published. And for the sake of time, I'm going to read chapters 1 and 2 just to make sure we don't run over. The Adventures of Amilya Rose, The Lie, Chapter 1, The Patterson Family. Good morning. Today is going to be a great day. My name is Amilya Rose Patterson, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm a 3rd grader at Wendell Elementary. Come along with me as I go on an exciting adventure. But first, I want to introduce you to my family. I have a brother named Caleb who has brown eyes and thick curly black hair. Caleb is 4 years old, and he's in pre-kindergarten. He loves playing with his toy cars. My mother, Gwendolyn Patterson, is tall, and she has long dark hair and dimples. She owns her own interior design firm. My father, Louis Patterson, is also very tall, and he has a good sense of humor. He works for a big company downtown. We all live in a small town in Georgia. When I look out the window, I can't believe what I see. There are mounds of white fluffy snow on the ground. It's unusual to see snow in January, especially in the South. I decide that I won't allow the snow to stop me from going on my adventure today. I can think of one good thing about snow. I will get to wear something different to school. I usually wear a dress or a skirt with my penny loafers and knee socks, but today I'll wear my jeans and sneakers. Hooray! I look out, I pull out I pull out my favorite dark blue jeans with heart-shaped sparkles on the back pockets, my red pullover sweater, and my favorite sneakers with silver stars. I also grab my favorite warm coat. This coat is very special to me because my grandmother, Big Mama, gave it to me last Christmas. The coat is green plaid with thin red stripes, and the sleeves and hood have off-white fur. My mittens are off-white to match the fur on the sleeves. Now I'm dressed and ready for my day. I stop by Caleb's room on my way to the kitchen. He's playing with his toy cars. Good morning, Caleb, I say. Hi, Neely, he says. Will you play with me? No, Caleb, not right now. We have to go eat breakfast. Okay, Neely. I knew Caleb would be excited about the snow, so I said, I looked out the window this morning and saw snow, Caleb. Caleb jumps for joy and hops over to the window with a big smile on his face. For real? Yes, Caleb, for real. We can make snow angels when we come home from school. I enjoy playtime with Caleb. I create projects for us to do, like painting our favorite pictures or coloring in our coloring books. We also play a variety of games. One of our favorite games is hide and seek. That will be fun, Caleb says. He follows me into the kitchen and we sit at the table. Mom has prepared a nice hot breakfast of eggs, bacon, grits, biscuits, and milk. Caleb just plays with his food, but I eat quickly because I'm eager to start my day. Slow down, Amelia. I don't want you to choke on your food, Mom says. Yes, ma'am, I responded. I force myself to eat more slowly, but I get up from the table in a hurry. I grab my book bag and my favorite coat, and I walk to the car with excitement. I know that today is going to be awesome because I've decided what my adventure will be. I'm a big girl now. I dress myself and make my bed every day, so I'm sure I can do big kid things. My mom doesn't believe me when I say that I'm very good with directions, but I will prove it today after school. I'm going to walk to the daycare all by myself. No more parent pickup for me. So here's a picture of Amelia and Caleb. And the mom are in the kitchen getting ready for breakfast, getting ready to go out for their school day. Chapter 2, the ride to school. I'm the first one in the car and I yell, Mommy, Caleb, I'm ready to go. My mom replies, okay, Amelia, we will be right there. I don't want to be late for school. I know, Amelia, you're always ready for school, Mom tells me. Caleb hollers to me from the living room, hold on, I'm trying to put my cards in my blue G.I. Joe bag. Mom and Caleb finally get into the car. Mom asks, is everyone buckled in? Yes, Caleb and I reply. We start to sing our favorite song. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Mom laughs joyfully. As my mom backs the car out of the garage, I start with my daily questions. Mommy, yes, Amelia, Mom replies. May I walk to the daycare after school? Mom sighs. No, Amelia, you're too young. But Mom, Amelia, it's too dangerous. Mommy, did you know that my 3 best friends, Christy, Jackson, and Leah, walk home from school every day? That's because they have older brothers and sisters to walk with them. You don't. But Mom, I know I can do it. I'm smart. Yes, I know you're smart. Before I could say another but, my mom says, Amelia, the answer is still no. Frustrated with my mom's response, I beg again in a louder tone. Mommy, please. Amilya Rose Patterson for the 1,000th time, the answer is no. And do not speak to me again in that tone of voice. Do you hear me, young lady? I sigh and say, yes, ma'am. As the car cruises down the road, I sit very quietly in my seat. I'm angry at my mom. I stare out the car window at the snow, and I start thinking about my adventure again. I know it will be amazing. I've dreamed of walking home from school since I was in the 1st grade. Today, I'm going to take the first step by walking to daycare after school. No one will be able to stop me. Ever since school started in September, I've memorized every turn and street name on the way to the daycare. I have this map in my head as I begin to plot exactly how I'll become a walker instead of a car rider. By the time the car arrives at Wendell Elementary, I have made a few plans. I know I have to be swift as a rabbit because walkers are the first ones to leave after school. I have to escape the classroom without Miss Honeycutt seeing me. Then I have to get past Mr. Humphreys, the janitor. I continue to make my plans as I walk into the school. Chapter 3, The Adventure. I enter Miss Honeycutt's classroom with a big smile on my face. Good morning, Miss Honeycutt. Good morning to you, Amilya Rose. How are you doing today? I'm great, Amilya. Miss Honeycutt, I'm excited. Why are you so excited, Amilya Rose? Miss Honeycutt asked. It's snowing outside. Did you see all the white fluffy snow? I sure did. Now take your seat so you'll be ready once class starts, says Miss Honeycutt. The bell rings. We all stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance. As always, Miss Honeycutt asks the class, did you complete your homework? Yes, we did, Miss Honeycutt, we say. Excellent. Miss Honeycutt takes up our homework. Then she starts teaching. We begin the day with mathematics and end with science. Normally, I enjoy math. I usually try to answer every question, but not today. I keep thinking about the bell ringing and my adventure starting. The end of the day creeps closer and my heart thumps faster. The clock finally strikes 3. Ding dong ding goes the bell, and I stand up quickly. I feel overjoyed, but I also have butterflies in my stomach. I'm relieved to see that Miss Honeycutt is not watching me. She's busy talking to Willie Brown, the class troublemaker. I put on my coat, grab my book bag, and I hurry out of the room. I walk silently down the hall because I'm focused on the big brown doors at the front of the building. I see the light shining through the doors as I get closer and closer. I finally reach the exit and I push the doors open. I'm free, I scream as I scurry away from the school. As I walk away from school, I pause for a moment to look back. No one's following me, so I smile and continue walking. I hold my head high because my plan is working. The first turn I make is on Winton Road. Even though my best buddies are walking in a different direction, I am with some other walkers. They're talking about going home to play in the snow. I want to play in the snow today, but I have an adventure to finish first. I stay on Winton Road for about 2 blocks. When I pass the big oak tree in Mrs. Parker's yard, I turn left on Claxton Avenue. By this time, only a few students are walking along with me. I have about 3 more blocks to go. The snow comes down harder, and I have to wipe snowflakes from my eyelids. I finally arrive at Cuddletown Daycare. My adventure is over. I did it. As I approach the entrance of the daycare, Miss Ruffles opens the door. I wasn't expecting anyone to see me coming, especially the owner of Cuddletown. Hi, Amilya, Miss Ruffles says. I respond with a hello. How was school? It was okay, Miss Ruffles. Why do you have so much snow in your hair? I don't know, Miss Ruffles. I must have forgotten to put my hood on. Miss Ruffles has a strange look on her face. I try to walk past her, but before I can, she tells me to go into her office. I stutter, okay, Miss Ruffles. I was happy during my adventure, but now I'm afraid. I didn't think I would get caught. I was sure that I could get into the daycare before anyone saw me. I remind myself that my parents should be proud of me because I knew my directions well enough to walk all the way here on my own. Miss Ruffles enters the office. Amilya? Yes, Miss Ruffles, I say. Who brought you to the daycare? My friend Tori's mom brought me. Oh my, I just told a big lie. I don't have a friend, Tori. Amilya, Miss Ruffles says, if you walk to the front door from a car, why is there so much snow in your hair? I pause. What should I say? Miss Ruffles is asking too many questions, and I don't know how to answer them. Before I know it, I'm telling another lie. Miss Ruffles, when I stepped on the front step of the daycare, snow fell from the roof and landed on my head. Miss Ruffles' eyes are so big that they look like they're popping out of her head. She says in a stern voice, Amilya, tell me the truth. Miss Ruffles, a man in a big green car brought me, and the snow did fall on me. Amilya, just be quiet. Miss Ruffles doesn't look happy. You're not telling me the truth. Yes, I am, Miss Ruffles. Never mind, I'm going to call your school. But Miss Ruffles, Amilya, I believe you're lying to me. Please have a seat in Miss Odelia's office. Yes, ma'am. Miss Odelia answers the phones for the daycare. She's a sweet lady, and she always has delicious candy in the jar on her desk for the kids. I walked into her office, which is next door to Miss Ruffles' office, and I sit down. By now, I'm feeling exhausted instead of overjoyed. I guess I didn't plan my adventure as well as I could have. I hear Miss Ruffles talking on the phone with the school. Good afternoon. This is Miss Ruffles from Cuddle Time Daycare. May I speak with Dr. Bowers? Dr. Bowers, this is Miss Ruffles. I'm the owner of Cuddle Time Daycare. One of your students has been coming here for years, arrived today, and I noticed something very strange. Amilya Rose Patterson. I don't think she came here with her mother. Oh, really? Amelia's mother's here now. She's probably a nervous wreck. I can't imagine what she's been thinking. She probably thought Amilya had been stolen. Uh-oh. I didn't even think that my mom would be looking for me at school. I fidgeted in my chair and continued listening to Miss Ruffles. Yes, I knew I had to call the school immediately. Most importantly, Amilya is safe. Please let her mother know she's here. I sit quietly, not listening to the rest of Miss Ruffles' conversation with the principal. I know I'm in trouble now. Miss Ruffles will tell my parents everything, but she may not tell the story correctly. I began to wonder what I'm going to tell my parents, and my mind works overtime trying to get my story straight. If there's some way I could prove my story, I won't be in trouble anymore. But how can I? The truth is, I disobeyed my parents. Whatever I say, it has to be better than the truth. While I wait in the office for my mom, I see Caleb walking by. He stops and says, "Hi, Mealy. What are you doing in the office?" The last thing I need is Caleb nagging me. Go back to the room, Caleb. Mealy, are you in trouble? No, just go. Okay, Mealy, are you sure? Looks like you're in trouble. Caleb walks away before I could say anything more. And I'll end it right
Excellent.
there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Everybody turn your microphones on, and does anybody have any questions or comments for Chavonne? Go, Andrew.
I asked somebody earlier this week, because this is a perfect book for children, but do you have like a secondary or a companion book with it that gets parents and children talking about the situations?
You know, no, I haven't thought about that, but that's something I can take in consideration to when I do a revision. I've had teachers ask if they could particularly pull a lesson plan from it. I said,
Exactly.
yeah, anyone could pull content from it to teach the lessons on lying and why we need to follow our parents' directions. Yes.
Well, that, and then she talks about being in the green car, and
yes.
She goes out in the snow, which is dangerous by itself with people. So there are lots of situations that could really spark a conversation with the child and the parent.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea, Andrew. Just adding discussion questions at the back of the book would be a really good idea. If you didn't want to do another companion book, you could do a reprint with discussion questions at the end. That'd be great.
All right, awesome. That's something I'll definitely take in consideration.
Yeah, but the companion book is a second sale.
You're always thinking, Andrew.
Hey, Chavonne, I got a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. What about images for your book? Do you have any specific ones that you feel should be more prominently highlighted than any others?
Actually, my book did not have, I didn't do a lot of images in there. So the first one I showed you, and I'm sorry, I should have showed you, this was chapter 2's image where they were riding in the car to go to the school. But my book didn't have, I think I may have had 3 total images within the book.
Got it. Got it. Good.
It's kind of for early readers. It makes a nice bridge between that picture book and that early reader stage. Kids about 7, 8, 9 years old. It makes a really good early reader.
Very good. Thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? No?
I just love the logic of a child. Like, my story's got to be better than that. I really liked that. And on top of that, one of my nieces is named Amelia, and today's her birthday. So that you're reading that really put a smile on my face.
Yes. I chose the name Amilya because I said my favorite one of the book was Amilya Bedelia. So I said, I love that name. I just wanted to change the spelling. And I chose Rose because that's my favorite flower. So I thought that would be a cool name, you know, to go along with her. And just a side note, Amilya is 8, but I actually did this at the age of 6 years old. I walked home from
Really?
I walked from the school to the daycare. I was 6 in the first grade when I did.
How did it
Okay,
turn out for you?
It turned out where I didn't get in trouble because I really told all the lies. I couldn't remember the lies that I told, so I kind of made up things that kids would have told, like, oh, I got in a stranger's car, I did this, I did that. In the end, my mom still kind of like, she'll grab me to the day. She said, you basically tried to kill me that day when you walked home from school. And sure, and my mom was the one that was waiting at the school for when the call came in, and she came and got me, but we had to go back to the school to go in the principal's office, and my lies just went berserk to the point that the principal did say, she's safe, just take her home. You know, the ordeal was enough, so I didn't get punished probably how I should have gotten punished, but yeah. So I was a 6-year-old. I was very curious. I'm till this day, I'm very good with directions.
Well, I did it too.
Okay.
When I was 6, I walked home from school and got hit by a car on the way home.
Oh no!
So
There's a
I got picked
cautionary
up by my
tale for
mother
you.
in the hospital. Yay!
Okay.
That went well.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions for Chavonne? No.
One more.
Yeah.
You know, you did some more adult books. We've touched on the children's books here, but you were part of basically a group of people talking about depression. Since it's something that I think everybody should be very passionate about. Before we go, could you give us just a little bit of an overview about your book on depression?
You know what, Andrew? I'm sorry to interrupt. We actually don't have time for that in this episode.
Oh,
but we're definitely gonna. I know we're definitely gonna talk about that when she comes back for her interview later in the month. We're gonna touch on her other 2 books.
I'll hold you to it.
I promise.
Okay.
So with that, I think we need to wrap up the session. Right. I love CNM TV, but I have a short window of airtime, and I want to make sure the whole thing gets on the air. So thank you again, Chavonne, for coming. I appreciate you reading for us today. And thanks, everybody, for joining in. I'm going to see if I can do this one more time. There we go. Thank you so much for coming. And again, if you visit our Facebook page, you can learn more about Chavonne and her books. And we are, there we go, technology. So we'll be back on, check Facebook, check to see all the other author events that we're having. Chavonne's going to come back again later in the month. We'll have a longer opportunity to ask questions and have discussion then. Thank you, everybody, for coming by, and we'll see you later.
All right,
bye-bye.